we are going to get the party started. Today's strength workout has 6 exercises, and we're going to go through them in supersets. So what that means is we're going to do our warm-up, then we'll do 2 exercises back-to-back for 3 rounds. We're going to be going for 12 reps. I obviously can't see all of you at the same time to count your reps, so that's your job. You get to count your reps, but I'll be giving you tons of tips and clues and cues as we go through. And we're ready to get started. So first things first, we're going to come down on the mat. Now, if you are the type of person who likes to have music while you work out, you're more than welcome to turn music on in the background, and you'll definitely still be able to hear me. So let's do this. We're going to come onto our side. So you're going to slide right onto your side, stack your knees, stack your feet, take your hands out in front of you, and just rest your head down on the mat. This is called a sideline half moon. So what we're going to do is we're going to stack those hands, one on top of the other, and we're going to trace half a circle over the top of our head till we open our arms up into a T position, getting a really nice stretch through the chest, maybe even through the mid and low back. And then we're going to trace that hand back over the top of our head. So we'll just do 2 more, go nice and slow on this one. And it's totally fine if your fingers can't touch the floor the whole way through this sideline half moon. Just go nice and easy. Sometimes the chest and back muscles can hold a lot of tension, and we're just slowly easing those areas open before we put any load on these muscles. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Oh, that feels good. Okay, roll over to your other side, and we're going to take 3 of these sideline half moons on the other side. So hands are stacked, knees and feet are stacked. You're tracing those fingers over the top of your head, opening your arm into that T position, and then coming all the way back the way you came. Nice and slow. Try not to rush this one. Keep breathing. Deep inhales and exhales. Chest, shoulder, mid back, maybe even low back, upper back. One more time. Trace that hand over the top of your head. It's always nice to have a slow start, I find, in the morning, as we gradually get into the fun stuff. Okay, make your way onto your hands and knees. So you're going to take your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Now we're going to reach one arm up toward the ceiling, and then we'll switch over and go to the other side. So I'll get you to keep reaching up to the ceiling, switching the arm, going over to the other side. Let's take about 4 more of these. Good, good. 4 more. Looks great. Awesome. Reaching up to the sky. One side and then the other. Now stay on your hands and knees. We're going to take one leg out to the side. So we're kind of in hands and knees positions with one extended leg. And we're going to start to rock forward and back. Now this is a nice dynamic stretch for your inner thigh. Helps to open up those hips, get those core muscles engaged. So you're just gently rocking forward and back. You don't have to force going back really far. Now the leg that is extended, try pointing that toe up to the ceiling. So your heel's on the floor, and keep rocking. You'll just feel the stretch move maybe into your hamstring a little bit more. A couple more times. Remember, we're just trying to warm up here. Our muscles don't have as much blood in them because you've likely been sleeping, hopefully. Let's switch over to your other side. So leg goes out to the side. You're in that hands and knees position, rocking forward and back, getting that lengthening on the inner thigh. Very nice. So attempting to keep your spine in a neutral position, so it's not going to round a lot if your inner thighs are really tight. Sometimes at the back of this movement, your spine wants to round. So try to imagine sticking your bum out to the wall behind you. You can turn that toe up towards the ceiling. Get a little bit more hamstring, couple more reps on this side. And then we'll be taking one quick breathing exercise before we move on. Okay, so staying on your mat, you're going to bring your elbows and you're going to bring them to the insides of your knees in kind of a short child's pose position. We're going to try to get some breath into our upper and mid back area. So in a child's pose, you know, normally you're kind of rounded over your knees. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn our palms up toward the ceiling and get our elbows stuck to the inside of our knees. So it's kind of like I'm stuck in a little mini short child's pose position here. I'm pressing the backs of my hands into the floor, and I'm pressing the sides of my elbows into the inside of my knee. Now, I'm just going to start to breathe, so taking inhales in and out through my mouth. Just take a couple breaths here. And notice if you're able to get some of that breath into your upper back. So imagine where your bra strap is and see if you can get air into that space. So in your inhale, expand the upper back, like you're breathing into the back side of your body. You're still pushing those hands, backs of your hands into the floor, and the sides of your elbows into your knees, getting some back body expansion. Now, when you do your exhale, I want you to go kind of like you're fogging up a mirror. So we're going to take 5 more breaths, inhaling into your mid-back, and then exhaling with that fog up the mirror. And you'll feel your abs kind of pull away from your legs. Inhale into that mid-back, exhale, fog up the mirror. Still push those backs of the hands into the floor, sides of the elbows into the insides of the knees. 3 more breaths. Fog up the mirror on your exhale. 2 more. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, fog up the mirror. 1 more time. Okay, let's make our way up to standing. So the whole goal of that is to try to get some more breath into the upper back, into the back side of the body. Let's take ourselves to the wall. You're going to put your hands against your wall, and you're going to come up onto the balls of your feet. So your heels will be lifted off the mat, kind of like you're in a calf raise position, okay? So we're going to do a calf raise, but what we're going to do is once we come up into that calf raise, we're going to go down on the inside line of our foot, across our heel, and then we'll go back up into the calf raise using the outside line of our foot. So it's kind of like, if you can see my feet here, in our calf raise, we're going to drop down on the inside line, roll across the heels, and then come up on the outside line. Obviously have the wall because that's going to make this a little bit easier. So lift your heels up, get into your calf raise. Now imagine you could drop down, instead of dropping your full foot down, you're dropping down through the inside line. So big toe, arch, then you're going to roll across your heel, then we're going to roll up on the outside line of our foot towards our baby toe. Then we're going to roll across that forefoot. Now drop down through that inside line, roll across the outside of the heel, up on the outside line toward your baby toe. And 1 more time, drop down through the inside line, roll across the heel, up through the outside line, and now we're going to switch it. Try to keep your big toes and your baby toes on the ground at all times, okay? So let's go down on the outside line of our foot, across the heel, and now up on the inside line towards our baby toe. This is really great movement for the ankle. Across the forefoot, down the outside line, across the heel, up through the inside line towards the big toe. 1 more time. Across the forefoot, down the outside line, across the heel, and then up the inside line towards the big toe. Okay, are we ready to do some fun stuff? It's time to get the fun started. So our first 2 exercises today are going to be a static lunge. I'm going to walk you through how to set that up, and a one-arm row. We're gonna cycle back and forth between those for 3 sets of 12 reps. This is gonna get our heart rate going, and it's gonna feel like you're actually doing a workout, not just fun stretching. Okay, so let's take 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. So we're in kind of a split stance position to set up our lunge. Now, I want you to imagine you're dragging your front heel on the ground, okay? So if you could pull that leg back, that's the action. You're gonna feel your hamstring on your front leg start to work, okay? Now, let's tuck our tailbone a little bit. The leg that's behind you, rotate that hip forward a bit, okay? So we've got this front leg pulling back and the back hip rotating forward. Now we're ready to lunge. So let's inhale on the way down and then exhale as we stand up. Inhale on the way down, exhale as we stand up. You're counting your 12 reps here. You're gonna see that some of you are gonna be going a little faster than me. Others are gonna be going a little slower than me. It doesn't matter, we all catch up together. At the end, inhale down, exhale up. So keep pulling that front heel back. Keep rotating that back hip forward. It's a great way to make your legs super active in your lunge. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice work. Holy, I can feel the glutes and the hamstrings and the quads already. Inhale down, exhale up. All the way to that 12th repetition. When you finish your 12th rep, you're gonna switch over to your other side, okay? Let's set it up, so get your foot in front, little staggered stance position. You're not on a tightrope. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. You're dragging on that front heel, taking that back hip and rotating it forward, okay? Inhale down, exhale, stand up. Inhale down, exhale, stand up. Yes, I want you to go slow and controlled. Keep dragging on that front heel. Nice work. That back hip is kind of rotating forward, especially as you go down. Inhales, exhales. You got it. Keep moving. Finishing off our first exercise of the day. Get to that 12th repetition, and then we'll give the legs a little break. Oh yeah. Okay, find the heaviest dumbbell that you have, and you're gonna need your bench or your ledge or your coffee table. So heavy dumbbell, maybe 15, 20, 25, 30 pounds. You're gonna hold it in one hand, and you're gonna place your hand onto your surface here. So you can see my knees are bent, my back is nice and flat, and I'm gonna pull my elbow right beside my torso. We're gonna go for 12 reps on each side in this one arm row, okay? Here we go. Hold that elbow right beside the torso. Really press your hand, your free hand, into your bench, or your coffee table, or your chair. So the weight in your feet and the hand on the bench are making kind of like a tripod. That's going to help to protect your low back. Nice work. Kind of like you're starting a lawnmower, pulling that elbow right beside your torso, all the way to 12 reps. You got this, guys. Working back, working bicep. When you finish that 12th rep, you're going to switch over to the other side. So make that tripod, your feet and your hand onto the bench. Spread the weight, body weight in between those 3 points. Okay, here we go. Other side. So your back's nice and flat. You're pulling your bum out to the back. You're driving that elbow beside your torso. Nice work. Pretty big muscle group exercise here. Biceps, back, and then tons of core to hold this position, right? Good work. Woo. All the way to 10 at 12. I almost said 10. That is one of my favorite numbers. Okay, and we're gonna switch it up. So back to those lunges we did. We're gonna go for round 2. If that felt too easy, now is a great time to grab some dumbbells. Maybe 10s, 8s, 15s in your hands, and we'll get set up for round 2. So get that front foot, dragging on that heel. Set up your hips, rotate that back hip forward. Inhale down, exhale, stand up. So these little positions that I'm giving you with your feet, the dragging of the heel, the rotating of the hips, all they're doing is putting you in a better position to make the exercise work your muscles a bit more and stay out of your joints, right? We get lots of work on the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes. Holy moly. Keep pulling back with that heel, rotating forward with that back hip. Woo! All the way to 12. Nice job, guys. Now, remember, as always, take breaks whenever you need to. If only 8 or 10 reps is working for you today, that's still amazing. Switch to your other side when you're ready. Drag on the heel, back hip, rotates forward, inhale down, exhale up. Yes. It's like, who wanted to make a lunge harder? That's what these cues do. They make the lunge harder, but much better, because then we're actually working those muscles instead of just kind of hanging out and bouncing in our joints. If you got those dumbbells at the side, awesome. You are in control of your own intensity level. Inhale down, exhale up, lunging to start the day. Woo! Okay, team, when you finish that 12th rep, we are moving on to our second set of one arm row. So make your tripod, find your heavy dumbbell. I've got even weight between my feet and my hand. The back's nice and flat and pulling my thumb out to the wall behind me, and then exhaling as I pull that dumbbell beside my torso. Good work. Count those reps all the way to 12. You got it, team. Round 2 of 3 on these exercises. Switch to your other side. Set up the tripod. Sometimes it's nice to give your torso a break as you switch from one side to the other. Keep the breathing going. Push your hand into that bench. Imagine you're lengthening out through your spine. So instead of tucking the tailbone or rounding through the back, you're long and strong from the tailbone to the top of your head. Good job. So close. Woo! Okie dokie. Set 3 of lunges. Let's do it. Let's get it over with. Dumbbells if you want. Otherwise, set up those feet. Drag on the front heel. Hands on the hips. Rotate that back hip forward. Okay, inhale down. Exhale up. Nice work. So there is a little bit more weight in your front leg versus your back leg. In a lunge, the front leg is the working leg, okay? So shift a bit more weight into that front leg as you pull back on that heel versus hanging out weight in that back leg. Woo! Spicy by round 3. Good job. When you finish your 12th rep, you're going to switch over to the other side. I always take a sec to set up and remind myself of those cues. Drag on the front heel. Rotate the back hip forward. Inhale down, exhale up. Nice. Get more out of the exercise. You're doing it anyways, right? So we may as well do it in a way that gives us a lot of bang for our buck. Woo! Count those 12 reps, team. Only a few more lunges for today. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Dumbbells or no dumbbells. So close. Yes. Okay, we got one more set of our one arm row. Now, if this is hurting your back at all, if you have a surface that's a bit higher, like the back of the couch, the back of the chair, that sort of thing. If you do the same exercise with your hand a bit higher, it's going to take some of that load off your back. So that's a tip for you to make it a bit easier. Give me 12 one-arm rows. Here we go. You got it, team. I really like the cue of pushing my big toes into the floor in this exercise. I find it really helps me to connect with my core and then feel a lot more supported and stable through my back. So try that if you like. Push the big toes into the floor. Woo! When you finish the 12th, go to the other side, please. And thank you. Nice work. Good, good. So even though this is an upper body exercise, by adding that big toe connection into the floor, we are making the rest of our body active because we are using our core, we are using our hips to stabilize in this movement, even though it's the upper body muscles pulling the dumbbell. Good job, guys. All the way to 12. Yeah. When you finish that 12th rep, now is a really good time to grab a sip of water. We got 2 more exercises coming up in our next superset. Oh yeah. So next move, I'm gonna show you for round 1 with no weights, just like I did with the lunges. If you want to add weights in round 2 or 3, you totally can. So first move is called an internal and external squat. So how you're going to do it is you're going to turn your toes inwards. See how I'm kind of in sort of a pigeon toe stance here. My toes are turning inwards and I'm going to take a squat. And I'm going to take a big step wide and I'm going to take a more sumo style squat. I'm going to alternate between the two for 12 reps. Yes, that's 24 squats. Then we're going to do it on the other side. It's going to get the heart rate up, my friends. All right, you ready? Turn those toes in. Do your squat. Your knees are coming together. You might not be able to go very low. Then turn your toes wide and squat. Internal squat and external squat. Internal and external. Nice work. So the internal one literally looks like this. The knees are driving together. The toes are on the ground. The external squat is more like a sumo squat. Yes. Now I like to reach my hands forward when I do each squat. I just find it flows really well, but you can do what you wish with your hands. Good. So you're going to quickly realize that the leg that's staying on the ground is doing quite a bit of the work here. Good job, team. You get a little leg break in the next exercise. Now, when you finish that 12th rep of internal and external squat, go to your other side. Take a sec to set up that internal squat. It's going to feel weird if you've never done something like this before. It's a great movement for the pelvic floor, backs of the hips. Keep your heels on the ground, your toes on the ground. Open wide into your sumo squat. Maybe 12. Good. So now your other leg is the one that's going to be sticking on the ground and doing lots of the work. Yeah, you can feel those lateral outside hip muscles, the inner thigh, inside of the hip muscles. Good job, team. So close. Keep it up. Now, you don't have to go super low on these exercises. You're still going to get incredible benefits by just going down maybe a quarter or a third of the distance. Yes. Now, when you finish your 12th rep here, you're going to find either one heavy, medium, heavyish dumbbell, 15, 20, 25, or 2 lighter dumbbells, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. We're going to do a curl and press, okay? So if you have one dumbbell, you're gonna hold it like this and do your curl and press. If you have two, you're gonna hold them in your sides of your hands, like so. And we're taking a hammer curl, which means our palms are facing in, and a shoulder press. All right, 12 reps. This is called the catch your breath exercise. Whew. So when we press up, try not to pop through the rib cage. Maybe keep a little soft bend in those knees. Good work, guys. You got this. Exhale as you press it up. As close as you can get to those 12 reps. Maybe holding one dumbbell or two, depending on which weights you have accessible to you. Keep those knees a little bit soft. Try not to arch through the back as you press. Yeah. Okay, team. When you finish that 12th rep, drop the dumbbells. Or if you were like, I want to make that internal and external squat a bit spicier, you take one dumbbell, you hold it in goblet position, and you do the same move. For me personally, it was spicy enough without the dumbbell, so that's where I'm staying. All right, set those feet up, turn the toes in, take your pigeon toe internal squat, and then step wide. Give me 12 on each position. Good. You got it. Just chip away at each rep. Don't worry that it's gonna take you a long time, or think about how many reps you have left. Just count and chip away. Slow and steady. One rep at a time. Way to go, guys. You got this. Woo! Hello, hips. Feeling good. Feeling spicy. When you finish your 12th rep, guys, switch it over to the other side. So, set up that internal toes, big toes and heels on the ground. Knees drive together. Arms drive forward. Open into the sumo. 12 in each position. Good work. Keep it up, guys. Remember our motto, chip away. Don't stress about the whole kit and caboodle. Just one rep at a time. That's how we do anything. Good job. Couple more. Internal, external. Finish strong. And enjoy your mini leg break while we curl and press for set 2 of 3. All right, soft knees, no popping of rib cage or arching of the back. Curl and press. You got it. Woo! I really am a rib cage popper, so for me, keeping my knees kind of soft when I do this is really helpful in not arching my back and popping my rib cage. Way to go, guys. You got this. As close to 12 reps as you can get. And what I mean by that is, if your form is really failing at rep 10 or 11, that's okay to stop, right? 12 is a suggestion, but sometimes depending on our fitness level, the amount of weights that we have access to, sometimes we need to alter those rep ranges. So between 10 and 12 is awesome. If you can hit 12, that's great. The good news and the bad news. We got one more round of internal and external squats, but it's only one more round. Okay, let's do it. Turn those toes in, narrow squat. Turn the toes out, wider squat. We got 12. Yeah. Good job. Remember, you can control the intensity by not going down as low, right? Maybe a quarter of a squat is what's going to work for you today, and that is still fabulous. Good job. Remember that option I did give you to hold a dumbbell. If you want to make this one a bit spicier, a bit higher load. Way to work. Woo! When you finish your 12th rep, other side. Okay, toes turn in, hips come back, toes turn wide. We got 12, internal and external squat. Good job, guys. Way to work. So remember, keeping that heart rate up by doing these big muscle group exercises is one of the ways that we keep that overall calorie burn higher. This is not a typical cardio workout, but are we working our cardiovascular system? Absolutely. Absolutely. Woo! So close. When you finish that 12th rep, say sayonara to the internal and external squat. Maybe sayonara till 2021. Depends if you want to do the replay of this workout. All right, guys, grab those dumbbells. Get ready for your curl and press. Final set. Soft knees. Let's do it. Hammer curl, shoulder press. 12 good reps. Woo! Nice work. Home stretch, guys. Only 2 more exercises for 3 rounds after this one. Nice. Keep it up. Finish strong. When you finish that 12th rep, pop those dumbbells down, grab yourself some water. Now, for our final 2 exercises, you're going to need that block or towel. You're also going to need your mat close by and a little bit of a lighter dumbbell. So probably the lightest dumbbell you've got, a 3, 5, a 7, an 8. That's what we're going to use for this next exercise. So quick sip of water. And what I need you to do is grab your block or your towel first. Now, see your bench or your ledge or your coffee table or chair or the edge of the couch works really well. You're going to put the edge right where your bra strap is. Now, I'm going to be telling you to pivot on that point. So if you just quickly watch my torso, this is a really helpful tip to get most out of this exercise. I'm not asking you to do this. Okay, this is me popping my ribs. I want the ribs to hit and hips to stay stacked, and you're literally going to be pivoting on that bra strap area. Then you're going to actually use your bum and your hamstrings in this exercise. So we're going to take our block or towel. We're going to squeeze it in between our legs. We're going to put that bra strap area onto the edge of our coffee table or our bench. We're going to drive our heels into the ground, and I like to kind of rest my arms just out at the side. So I'm going to drop my bum towards the ground, and then I'm going to lift my hips up and squeeze the block. Then I'm going to drop my hips to the ground, and I'm going to lift my hips up and squeeze the block. So you can see I'm pivoting at my ribs. So when you drop your bum, look to your knees. When you lift your hips, keep looking to your knees. Drop your bum. Yes, we're going slow. I want you to go slow on this one. Now, if you're feeling your low back, try tucking your tailbone under a little bit. That really helps to activate those hamstrings. Imagine you're pulling your feet towards your bum. I'm sure you have figured out that we are doing 12 reps of this. I have 4 more, and I hope that you are close to that too. Squeezing that block, tucking the tailbone as you lift. Hello, hamstrings and glutes. There you are. Woo. Okay, let's drop that one. Take the band or the block or the towel away. Now find that light dumbbell. I'm going to give you the easier option for round 1, then round 2 and 3, I'll give you the harder option. So we're going to set up a side plank. Your forearm is going on the ground. You're going to go from your knees in the side plank for round 1. You're going to grab that dumbbell with your hand, and you're going to keep your elbow into a micro bend as you open and close for 12 reps. This is called side plank with reverse fly. Okay? Press the floor away. Imagine you have a water balloon in your armpit, and you're trying to squeeze it. Give me 12 reps of the side plank with reverse fly. So this is a pretty small muscle group up in the shoulder here, which is why I wanted you to use a light dumbbell. If you don't have a light enough dumbbell for where you're currently at, you can obviously do a couple reps with the dumbbell that you have, and then drop the weight and finish the 12 reps just using your arm, okay? And no additional weight. So biggest thing we're watching out for in this one is when we lift up, we're not popping the chest and the ribs forward. We're keeping the chest and the ribs back the entire time we do this exercise. When you get to your 12th rep, you are switching to your other side. So step 1 always is set up the side plank first. Get the forearm pushing into the ground, stack the knees, stack the hips, hold the hips away from the floor, roll the top hip forward a little bit, get that elbow bent, then open and close for 12 repetitions. With dumbbell or no dumbbell, good. Squeeze that water balloon in your armpit. It's going to activate your lats on the underside of your torso, which are really going to stabilize your core. Yes. Now, if the dumbbell that you have is too heavy, just drop it down and keep doing this move without the weight. It's still challenging, as I'm sure you're aware. Woo! Roll that top hip forward a little bit. Give me 12. Yeah. Okay, arm break while we move back to this bench hip thrust. So get your block or your towel. Now this time we're going to do a mini pause at the top. So we're going to put the block or towel in between our legs, get the mid back. It's kind of like a nice massage spot right in between those shoulder blades. Mid back onto your ledge. We're going to drop our bum, look to your knees, drive those toes and heels in, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the block, and hold at the top. 1 Mississippi. Then drop your hips. We've got 11 more. Drive the heels down, tuck the tailbone, hold 1 Mississippi. Good. 10 more. Drive the heels down, tuck the tailbone, hold the block, 1 Mississippi. 9 to go. Woo! So on that 1 Mississippi hold, squeeze that block. 8 more. Yes, we're going slow. Yes, you're dragging your heels towards your bum. Literally, imagine those heels could drag along the floor. You got 6 left. Woo-hoo-hoo. 5. Drag the heels. Tuck the tailbone 4. There's 3. Yes, we're going slow. There's 2. Hold for 1 Mississippi. Tuck that tailbone. There's the last one. Last one of set 2, I should say. Okay, now find that light dumbbell and move back to your side plank with reverse fly. If you think that you want to make it tougher, it's just an option. You can go from your feet in your side plank, okay? Try it, even if you just do it for a couple reps. If it's a no-go, that's totally cool. Nice work, guys. Roll that top hip forward. You got it. Keep breathing. Squeeze that water balloon in your underside armpit. Woo! Lots of muscles working here. So close. Home stretch here, guys. When you get to your 12th rep, you're going to switch over to your other side. You pick the position based on where you are at currently. That's one of our coaching club rules. Meet yourself where you're at, not where you think you should be. Because punishing ourselves is never a long-term adherence strategy. Forearm pushes into the mat from the knees or the toes. Roll that top hip forward, open and close with that top arm slightly bent. You got it. Nice work, guys. Keep breathing. Do your best. Almost there. We're finishing off our second round of 3. You know once I'm singing, we must be close to the finish. Okay, final set on that bench, ledge, couch edge with your block or your towel. Pop it in between your legs. Get your mid back right onto the bra strap area. Dig your heels in. I really like to tuck my tailbone. If you find that makes your low back hurt more, then don't do it. Or if it bugs your tailbone, I find it helps me use my butt, my glutes more. So it's an option. Okay, inhale, exhale, tuck tailbone, lift, hold 1 Mississippi, and drop. Drag the heels, hold 1 Mississippi, and drop. 10 more. Drag the heels back towards your bum like you're doing a hamstring curl. Good job. Woo! 8 more. You only have 8 more, right? On this one, then this one's done. If you want that tailbone tuck option, try it. 6 to go. Push the heels into the ground. Way to go. 4 more. Woo! Imagine those heels are pulling towards your bum. 2 more. Hold at the top. 1 Mississippi. Drag the heels. And then drop your hips down. Get rid of that block. Pick your poison. Side plank from the knees or the toes. You pick the one that fits you best for today. Press that forearm into the ground. And whether you're doing from the knees or from the toes, take that top hip, kind of roll it forward. Grab your dumbbell and give me your 12 reverse flies. If the dumbbell is too heavy, you drop it and you do the same move without the dumbbell. It's still beneficial. Good. Woo! So close, guys. Home stretch. Push that forearm into the ground. When you finish your 12th rep, kiss this one goodbye and move to your other side for your final 12 reps of the day. After this, it's breathing, stretching, resting. Okay, let's go. Roll that top hip forward, open and close. Get really strong on the underside body. So from your armpit to your hip on the underside. How do we do that? By pressing the floor away, by rolling that top hip forward a little bit, by breathing. Woo! Drop the dumbbell if you need to. There's no ego in smirk exercise. A couple more. Oh! Those last 2 reps are extra spicy. Okay, on to your back. We're gonna hug the knees in towards the chest and we're gonna rock from side to side, just getting a little low back massage. Now, we're gonna cross one foot over our opposite knee. So you can do this with your foot on the floor, if that's enough of a stretch. Otherwise, you can bring the legs a little closer. Now, I really like dynamic stretching because it helps to get more muscle fibers as we move through the range of motion of this specific exercise. So you can see I'm doing this figure 4 stretch, but I'm just rolling, rocking from side to side, and you're going to feel more aspects of that deep hip, those deep hip rotators when we do this. We could stay here all day, but we're not going to. We're going to switch over to the other side. So you can still do the rock and roll, even if it feels more comfortable to keep your foot on the ground, or if it feels good to keep the foot off the ground, you can do the rock and roll from there. Just rocking and rolling from side to side, getting into that hip. Oh yeah, couple more. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Okay, let's roll over onto all fours. Now, we're going to do another child's pose position, but this is not a short stance. This is like a long stance child's pose. So, you're going to bring one forearm and back of the hand onto the ground, and you're going to reach your other arm forward. So, my left forearm is pressing into the ground, my left palm is looking towards my face, my right arm is reaching forward, and then I'm going to take 5 breaths into my right armpit. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Just forcing some air over onto that side, into those lats, into that armpit, chest area. And we're going to switch it up. So now my right forearm is pressing into the ground, my right palm is looking at my face, my left arm extends out. I'm just going to look down towards my palm and I'm going to breathe into my left armpit 5 times. Deep inhales and exhales, nice and deep. Oh, feels good. Okay, let's make our way up to standing. Now we're going to put our foot up onto our ledge, our bench, etc. Keep your knee a little bit bent here, and you're just going to tip your hips back and then stand up. So I'm hinging forward and up. So it's almost like my tailbone is pointing to the wall behind me and then lifting up, pointing to the wall behind me and lifting up, dynamically stretching this hamstring. Now we're going to hold the hamstring stretch. Imagine that you're a dog and you're wiggling your tail from side to side. Oh yeah. Couple more wiggle. Yes, this is a balance exercise. And switch to your other side. So start with that knee in kind of a little semi-bent position. Hinge at the hip, stand it up, pulling the hips back and standing up. Couple more. Oh yeah. Okay, on your next one, you're going to stay down in the stretch, then wiggle, waggle your tail from side to side. Try not to fall over. If you're close to a wall, you can definitely use it for balance. Oh, yes. Okay, team. Thanks for joining me, you guys. That was so awesome. See so many shining faces at this hour of the morning. So lots of you guys know the coaching club is open for registration. It's my full spectrum online exercise and nutrition coaching program for women. Basically every 30 days we follow a new strength workout plan. We work out together multiple times a month, live on Zoom just like this, and then you get access to the whole library of previous recordings. I think we're up to close to 40 live recorded full-length videos there. So tons of fun. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me. That's open till the end of the day on December 23rd. And if you want to sweat again tomorrow at 5:30 p.m., you can join me. The exercises are going to be different, so we won't be doing the exact same workout, I promise. It'll be just as fun, just as sweaty as usual. And I hope you have a lovely day.